matter. Be your own kind of beautiful. Keep your head up. It don't matter. Don't be discouraged. It don't matter. Let the world know that it don't matter. Be your own kind of beautiful. Curvy is so beautiful. Plus size is so wonderful. Being thick has benefits. I'm not your ordinary cheek. I've got a lot of love to share with low, short, and nappy hair. Taking time to let you know I'm my own kind of beautiful. So think it's a sexy girl. Don't just be ashamed. No, 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 no. Be your own kind of beautiful. You're so beautiful.
Hey everybody, this is your girl Jamila J. Welcome to Jamila Girl Talk on Feel Good Talk, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. How you doing, Chuck?
Hey, I'm doing great. Hey, happy to be here as always. You know,
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I always learn something new from Jamila J's Girl Talk. So I'm ready to rock. You know, I'm ready to do what we do. So let's go.
All right, and we have a special guest, Miss Monica Cook Johnson. I don't know much about her, but I am anxious to learn more about her. I know she's a makeup artist to some of the stars, and she has a very prestigious resume. So we're going to learn a little bit more about her.
Okay.
Maybe get some makeup tips so we can look good. I don't know what's going on with the makeup because all these girls on YouTube, they just put on more and more and more. It's like, what the heck?
Some of that,
You know,
it's
a lot of makeup. And you know what? We used to call it glamour shots, but this is just everyday makeup. So we're gonna get into more about that. But I always like to start the show with checking in. How's everybody doing? You know, this is the last Sunday in January.
Wow.
We already made it through the first month of 2021. It's amazing.
Right.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
So how you guys doing? How you doing, Chuck?
I'm doing great. You know, keeping in shape, doing what I do, keep my immune system going, and that's really all I can do. You know, just trying to adjust to the new life that was dealt to us, and just make the best of what we, make the best of it. That's all. So again, I'm feeling great. And I'm just, like I said, just happy to be alive. That's all.
Yeah, gotta count our blessings.
That's right.
Taking nothing for granted. And Miss Monica, how are you doing? We always talk about the pandemic, but how are you keeping yourself 100?
So the pandemic, I believe, hit our industry first because all of our work is so close. So I took a break, that we stopped working in March. Like Broadway went dark, which just means there's no shows. Broadway went dark in March, Kennedy Center, all of the theaters that I was either touring with or working with. And honestly, I was kind of grateful at first because I didn't realize how tired I really was. And then the entertainment, anything with television or theater doesn't stop. It really doesn't stop because even with the pandemic, everybody's been binge watching, you know what I mean? So when we're on set for a long period of time. So initially I was great with just kind of having a break, and then it kind of gets redundant. So you have to look at your business model and make some adjustments, do some things more digital, focus on, just different things with being able to interact with customers and just people that may be interested in what you do. So it's definitely shifted our industry. So we're just waiting now for things to open back up because I have a feeling when it does, it is going to be lightning speed because it's so crazy. It had to stop like abruptly.
Yes, they call it pivoting. So we have to pivot,
correct,
and we have to make adjustments, like you said, to this new world we're in, called the COVID-19 pandemic. So we're glad to be alive. We're glad to be here. And we're glad you're here with us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, what we wanted to do was we definitely got to give a shout out to our sponsor, which is the A Game. So we're going to Run that commercial. We're gonna come back. We got some comments, and then we're gonna get right back to the interview. All right.
Okay.
And
all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is A-Game, an all-natural herbal dietary supplement formulated exclusively for men. Our proprietary blend was designed with one goal in mind: to improve your overall health, rejuvenating your vitality, energy, strength, and libido. Want to be at your peak performance in everything you do? Then bring your A-Game. Fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Oh my God.
And that is the A-Game. Like I said, it's good for your libido, strength, energy, and also it's good in this times that we're living in now because it builds your immune system. It's 19 natural herbs that works very well. If you want your free sample of the A-Game, give me a call at 302-723-2836. Again, 302-723-2836 to get your free sample of the A-Game. All right, thank you. Now, we do have some comments in the audience, and I want to get right to those right before we start. Right off the bat, we got Sky Darling. She says, hello, girl talk and feel good teams. What's going on, Sky? We definitely appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. We also have Sky Darling says, hello, Monica Cook Johnson, celebrity makeup. Celebrity. Hey, they got you. They marked you celebrity already, Monica. And she says, Fab, darling. So giving that shout out. We also got Karen. I got it. Karen Dixon Brown. I was calling her Dickerson. I don't know why I was saying that. Probably because of Will's name, Dickerson. So
yes.
Thanks, Karen, for tuning in. She says, good afternoon. We have Izzy Meditate. She says, hey, beautiful. Hey, Kendra Moore's tuned in. She says, hey, hi, fam. What's going on, Kendra? And of course, we always got the hashtags going on with Sky Dawn. She says, Charles Blake and Jamila Choice. Been waiting all week for hashtag Feel Good Talk and hearing this show. Thanks, Sky. And we appreciate you. And we've been waiting to hear from you, too. So believe me, we're on the same page. And she says, good to see you. Yes, good to see you as well. And I guess that was a whole bunch of I guess it just kept going on and on. So, again, thanks to the people out there. Thanks to everybody tuning in for to Jamila J's Girl Talk. It's always a pleasure. You be doing something else, but you're right here with us, so we definitely appreciate it. So,
yes.
Let me get back to you, Jamila.
All right.
Good enough for me.
All right, Miss Monica Cook Johnson.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Where were you born and where do you live now?
I was born in Trenton, New Jersey. Trenton.
What? We'll write the teachers.
Yeah, right. But I'm in Baltimore now. I'm in Maryland now.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So how did you make the transition from Trenton to Maryland?
I actually went to and graduated from Morgan State University, which is an HBCU in Baltimore.
Okay.
And when I graduated, I went into the military. So I served in the Army. And then when I got out, I was, honorable discharge. When I got out of the Army, I moved back to DC because I actually started working for MAC while I was in the military. They didn't know that. You wasn't supposed to. It don't matter now because I ain't in it.
Yes.
But that was actually like the way that I was able to kind of maintain my, because the military is a whole different animal. Right. So I ended up moving to DC and worked there for about a year and a half, I believe, and then came back to Baltimore.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I was going to ask you, how was that going into the military, especially for female? It's hard. It's hard. It's just hard in general, but especially for a female. Not saying that you can't handle it, but it is definitely harder for a female to go into the military. And how did they treat you? It was different. Yeah. Okay.
You know what? So I have a marketing degree. I have a business degree. And so I was always an artist. I actually wanted to go to art school and it was way too expensive. And I was like, you know what? I want to go to HBCU anyway. So it's fine. Mm-hmm. And so, when you are in university, you're taught to be a free thinker and to solve the world's problems. And business degree is okay. Well, how do we sell this product or how do we engage with this customer or whatever the case was? So for me, having finished college and then gone, I went enlisted because they had a loan repayment program. So that was my reasoning for that. Mm-hmm. But having gone enlisted after already being really encouraged to be an individual and to, be able to put that forward. And then I went into the military and it was like, no, you're in a box, you're a soldier, this is it. So I went in with rank because I had a degree and, I was had some leadership things that I was doing, but inside for me, I felt very stifled because I've always been a creative. And I think if I had gone in like right out of high school, it may have been an easier adjustment, but I went in at like 24. So it was a little bit different. And that's why I was like, I gotta find an artistic outlet because I'm gonna go crazy. And I remember my, other fellow comrades would be like, Cook, why are you here? Like, you totally do not belong here. And I'm like, I know that now. I didn't know before I signed up. But I'm grateful because, it taught me a lot about discipline, a lot about, showing up, doing what you say you're going to do, actually being early because on time is late. And it really just kind of, if anything, I would say ironed out some of that. Some of me realizing that my word is my bond and I'm responsible. Whatever I say, whatever I agree to, that's what's expected. And that has really helped me segue into the arts because we're not in an industry where you not just show up. If I'm on set to do a play or I'm on set to do an award show and they've got me on schedule and I'm like, I don't feel like going. That is literally like career suicide. So I really am grateful that I did it because it taught me without me knowing that that's what it was teaching me, how to be responsible and, be given a task that I can complete well.
Those are like life skills, they call it.
For sure.
And those are great skills, especially for young adults.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, because I have issues with being on time, So, that is really a great skill. So in the military, going from the military, working at MAC, how did you get your first makeup artist job?
Well, I've been really dabbling in makeup since I was 16. So I was already like doing makeup all in college. If we used to have these parties every year called the Get Jiggy. That was it right then. And I was at Morgan from 96 to 02. So it was like, oh, we're going to the Jiggy. So I used to have girls lined up behind, outside my dorm room door. Oh, you going to do my eye makeup? Can you put some lashes on? So I was already really playing in that. And then actually when I was in college, I got a job at a kiosk and there was a locally owned makeup company and all she did was custom blend everything, foundation, concealer, lipstick, lip gloss. So I was the person that custom blended. And I didn't realize at the time that I already knew what color theory was because I was an art student in high school as well. But at that time, I was really learning about how undertones in something, looking at someone's skin versus looking at a product, how you can tell the undertones and add a little blue or add a little green or whatever, how that can, really match somebody's skin. So that, I would say that was probably like my first official job was actually when I was in college. I didn't go.
What is custom blending?
So custom blending is basically you have your primary colors and you may have additive toner colors. So your primary color, so you want to go make me get my doggone color wheel. Well, anyways, primary colors would be red, yellow, and blue, I want to say. Yes, red, yellow, and blue. And so when you mix red and yellow, you get orange. When you mix yellow and blue, you get green. When you mix red and blue, you get purple. And then you can either add white or black to make it a lighter color
or darker
tone or shade of something. So custom blending is basically having base colors of makeup, whether it's foundation or lip or whatever, and adding your primary colors into it in order to get somebody's particular skin color.
Okay.
And then if it was like a lip gloss or a lipstick, you would use like a lipstick base, and then you would add more primary colors. You might add sparkles. You might add something that's got like a sheen to it. And then that would create a particular product, that specific color for that specific client.
Okay.
Wow. You know what? That's great to know because, I didn't know it was that in detail like that as far as, we got to put this, of course I knew, doing the different designs and stuff that they do on their face now, totally different when we were coming up, and it has advanced to the makeup is just crazy now. The way that they hide different, I'm going to be honest with you, you can make someone up and make them look totally different than who they are.
Totally different person.
It's crazy. And I guess that's what y'all was talking about earlier about how, you know, the makeup is so thick, or I don't know if you were saying it like that, Jamila. Maybe I took it like that. But
yeah, it's so much. I mean, it's just layers and layers of foundation, concealer,
Yeah.
the
The
what do you
highlight,
call it? Highlighter,
contours.
and then they do it again. But then it's more.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you even get here? But you know, let's back up. But so you were doing custom makeup. That's incredible.
Yes. And I enjoyed that because
Yeah.
I mean, this would have been in like 97, 98 maybe. And so I think the only brands that were available for women of color at the time were
Ebony Fashion Fair.
Fashion Fair, Black Radiance, Black Opal, and then that was when MAC was like really booming because they had colors for women of color. But even then MAC had a definite range of colors. But then there still were women that were like, I need something that's my specific color. I don't want to mix it. Can you match me? So I loved working with particularly women that had chocolate skin because sometimes the color was too orange or it was too red.
Make you look ashy.
So I was able to make it where it literally looked like their skin but better.
Yes.
Yeah, because like you said, some of them is just too light. Sometimes you'll see somebody that's just too light. It just they're glowing. Then their neck is dark. You know what I mean? So it's like, wait, it got to be something better than that. And we got a lot of comments. I want to get through them because they're going. I'm not going to be able to get to them if not, because they're going up the screen big time. So, my man Tyrone Ricks, he says, the 10 of Life is tuned in. Yes, check out the 10 of Life right on 7th and Hayes in Chester. He's doing major things, you know. So check him out. Thanks, Ty, for tuning in. You're always tuning in. He says also, good afternoon to Feel Good Talk. Hey, good afternoon, brother. Jamila, Sky Darling says, okay, Jamila Choice looking fab, darling. Our queen, and Charles always repping our kings. Well, you know, I try. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely appreciate it. And
thank you, Sky.
What's up, Jamila? What's up, DJ Charles? What's going on, my brother? Thanks for tuning in again. And I have a brother here, but he's talking another language. But
hello, okay.
Shout out to you too. Yes, sir. Hello. Good afternoon. I think this means good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah, appreciate that. And I'm sorry. I meant to, Tyrone says thanks for serving also, Monica. Definitely. Yes, indeed. Yeah, thank you for your service. Definitely. It takes a strong person to do that because they were looking for me when they were trying to get me. And I was everybody, our Air Force area, I said, man, I ain't doing that. I was hiding every week. So shout out to you because I couldn't do it. So Izzy says, I love it. I only wear lipstick, eyeshadow, eyeliner, and mascara, but use the same natural colors. I want to change, but I'm so nervous to change colors. I guess she's asking you maybe, you know, what could she do to change?
So I would suggest if you want to try new color, buy something, but don't invest a lot of money in it just yet. So I know, like, because of the client base that I have now, my kit is mostly high end because that's what they're requiring. Right. But there are brands. NYX NYX is a great brand. They have an array of colors.
Yeah,
if you like to try something, they're not expensive. So if you don't particularly care for it, you might have only spent $10 versus going to a department store or a specialty store like Sephora and buying something that would have been a palette that would have been $70.
Right.
You know, so if you want to try it, just try the lower end one first. The pigment is usually still pretty good, but you know, you don't want to invest in it and then you'd be mad that it doesn't look good, and you know. So COVID, some places are taking returns, some places aren't. COVID has completely changed the way things are being done. So that's another reason I'm saying don't invest, because if you can't get your money back, you're just gonna be upset.
Yeah.
Monica, I like the brand they have at Walgreens. It's called Milani.
You know what's funny about Milani? Hold on, sidebar. You know, Milani used to just be in the beauty supply store, in the black beauty supply store.
Yeah.
When Milani first came out, it was only in our neighborhood for supply stores, and now it's everywhere. They also have a beautiful range of colors. And the
Yes,
lip
I
colors,
love.
Milani's lip colors, I think for drugstore, I think is like second to none. They are beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
And they have a really good website. If you
Mhm.
can't, Izzy, if you can't find them at Walgreens and kind of play around with the colors,
Mhm.
they send me emails and texts, and they always have really good. I like their foundation too,
Okay.
and it's not expensive,
Right.
and
Right.
it gives you really good coverage. So
Right.
I would go into Walmart and Walgreens and just kind of look around and try a
Walmart,
little bit.
yes. Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid,
Hmm.
um, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Ulta.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
That's
No.
the also. Hey,
Mhm.
Kendra says, as a chocolate girl, the struggle was real in the 90s. Makeup has come a long way. It's
Yes,
true.
God.
yes.
Because I'm
Yes.
gonna tell you that Rihanna brand is really nice too. I
Yeah.
feel
Oh yeah.
like
Yes.
she's
Yes.
doing big things, for
Yes.
women of color too. So again,
Yeah.
it has come a long way because, like you said, it used to
Yeah.
look really bad back in the day. I ain't gonna
That's
lie.
why they were coming to me to get them custom made.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what Rihanna, what she did was simple, stupid. She made
Right.
a shade for everybody.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
Everybody.
Right.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You
So,
know.
And she gave everybody an undertone. She's got the neutral, she's got the warm, she's got the cool, and people were like, I don't understand. How did she come out of nowhere and make all this money? Because she's looking at the entire market. She's
right.
not
Yes.
just looking
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
your Caucasian or your fair skinned market and then the top half in shade of your darker skin market. Because it's not just us, it's Indian women, it's African women,
Everybody.
anybody
Right.
Yeah.
with color, with melanin. So yeah, she just opened it up for everybody. And then
Every
after that,
shade for everybody.
yes, as artists, we kind of started to laugh because it's like then you had different brands that were coming out and they were like, well, we've always had these shades and we've always been inclusive. And some of them were, but their marketing wasn't.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so when Rihanna marketed, she marketed to everybody, not just a few.
Mhm.
Right.
So she did
Exactly.
very well.
Yes.
She
Yeah,
did very well.
we got one question from Sky Darling. She says, "My niece Ladybug, who is 14 years, decided to be a celebrity makeup artist.
Okay,
Take
Ladybug.
you and career pathway do you recommend?"
Okay, so this is gonna go back to the YouTube comments that we were making a little earlier.
Mhm.
The millennials are now learning in a different way.
Mhm.
I'm self-taught. I ended up going to school because I wanted to be a state licensed artist, and now I'm in the union, which is what allows me to work on film and TV and all that stuff. So that's a whole nother path. I would definitely say use YouTube for what you can use it for. But you're going to have to be educated. You've got to go to some sort of a makeup school, a cosmetology school. I think working at a makeup counter it's like education like you'll never have anywhere else, because you might learn theories in cosmetology school, but then you actually have them play out when you're at work. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to be a makeup artist and I'm going to work on the Grammys or I'm going to work on the Oscars. And I'm telling you, that road is a long road.
Yeah.
So while you're looking and letting that be your goal, don't forget about where you are and the level that you are as you're climbing. So at 14, she can look on YouTube and learn some things, play with her friends, do little party makeup and prom makeup. And if there's like somebody going on a date, those are ways that she can learn and hone her skills. But when she's old enough, she's going to need to go to cosmetology school. For certain, because she's got to learn about sanitation. She's got to learn about a lot of other things other than just painting.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Good advice.
yeah,
Good
because
advice.
same thing. Smart advice, education, especially when free is key. Exactly.
For sure.
Said that too. I'd rather have somebody experienced as far as that's been doing it versus somebody coming in the game with just paper. So again, I'm always been an advocate of that. So
For sure.
yeah, I'm a guy. I love the less makeup, the better for me. So
most men are like that. Yeah, most men are.
All right. What advice would you give, I guess, the females that don't wear it? Because I know Izzy was just talking about she has the eyeliner, the lipstick. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? I could deal with that. You know, I just hate when they put all this makeup on there and take it off, and then next thing you know, they look totally different than what you saw. So, what advice, I guess, are you also into like skincare as well versus just the makeup artistry?
I am into skincare. I'm not an esthetician though, so I can assess your skin and say what we can put on it or how we can products to cover if there's something, you know, that you want to keep hidden. But as far as the skin assessment is concerned, I always tell people go to a dermatologist. You kind of figure that out on your own. Because if you don't have a good skin cleaning regimen, but you're wearing makeup every day, all you're doing is packing your pores with more makeup. If you have skin that's already prone to breakouts, the more makeup you kind of pile on, the more your skin is going to act up.
Yeah, you know, I've seen that a lot. Like, you know, just in general, I'm not talking about like nobody in particular, but I would see a woman that has a whole lot of makeup, but you still see the bumps and stuff on her face. And like you said, that's because she's
skincare.
Skin better. Exactly.
I mean, and some people it's hereditary. Some people may have, you know, hormonal things that are going on. So makeup won't cover texture. Makeup will just cover color. It won't ever cover texture. So, I mean, I'm not telling people don't wear it. You know, if you want to cover it up and it makes you feel better, then you do what you got to do. But I definitely wouldn't skip the skincare step.
Right.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to get back to a comment Chuck just made about makeup. I think, what would you recommend for everyday makeup look? The lipstick, I don't know, eyeliner, maybe a moisturizer, and then a foundation. Just a everyday look, not
the Instagram
camera look. You know,
not camera ready Instagram.
It's a difference, Chuck.
They're different.
Yeah,
it is.
Go ahead. Oh, so what I was going to say for every day. Well, first of all, I don't wear makeup every day. Even when I go to work, I just don't have the time because I'm busy making everybody else up. They don't care what I look like anyway. That was so sad. But if you have to wear it every day, or you decide that you want to wear it every day, and it's quick, you know, you can do like a little bit of concealer. You can do a little powder. If you want an easy lip color, it can be a color that's close to your skin tone, or you can just do gloss. Because gloss really kind of covers a multitude of sins, and you can really play with color when you have on a gloss. Since it's sheer, it's concentrated enough to show a color, but it's still sheer enough to show your lip under it. So it's kind of easy. You don't need a pencil. You don't have to do a whole bunch of stuff. You can throw the gloss on and leave. And then for your eyeshadows, I tend to go with natural colors that I see in my skin. That way it's not complicated. I can't put too much on and make it look, you know, may have it look bad. If I'm playing with bright colors, those are the colors that I want to practice a little bit more with to make sure that when I put them on, it's just not color everywhere. Now, if that's what your thing is and that's what you like, I love it. I'm like, oh, you like that? I love it. Great. Yeah.
Okay, so what about behind the camera, you know, makeup? Because I've tried like the natural look. And you just like fade in the background. You gotta pop. You know, you gotta bring the, especially the lipstick and the eyes. But go ahead.
That's sort of that's the area that I work in. You always have to remember, whether you are on a photo shoot, whether you're on television, you have lighting everywhere. And in the television studios, there's lighting in the ceiling. I mean, they are bright, because they're lighting the set, they're lighting the background, they're lighting you. So your makeup on set and on camera cannot be your makeup that you wear walking out the door, because the light is going to actually absorb about 30 or 40% of the color that's there. So that's why you just do regular makeup, and then you go sit in front of a camera or sit in front of a photograph or whatever, you get a photograph taken. You take the photograph and you're like, why do I look like that? Because that's when you have to do a little bit more. So you can still kind of do your colors, but things that are more concentrated, not things that are so sheer, because if it's too sheer, it's just gonna look like you got out of the bed and went on set. So you have to have some differences in the products that you use.
Well, I want to give a shout out to all the women out there, because y'all
it's hard to be a woman.
Y'all go through, man, from your hair to your makeup to everything else. You know, and We go to the barbershop. We have to, you know what I mean? Maybe get a little shape up.
Get on
And
my
we
nerves.
out. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard out here in these social
It is
media
crazy.
streets of women.
Right.
Oh, I work with weddings sometimes, and we're there with these women at 4 in the morning, and the wedding might not be till 1 o'clock in the afternoon,
Wow.
and everybody's hair and makeup, and it's just stuff everywhere.
Hmm.
And the guys are like, "Oh, we're at the basketball court, we're at the golf course, we're just gonna go to the barbershop. Why do you need them so early?" I'm like,
I tell you, because sometimes y'all women put makeup takes hours. I'm like, wow. Like,
I don't really do.
that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Especially some of the extra stuff when it's like a lot of the contouring and all of that. That takes time.
Hey, we got Izzy says he says yes, Chuck, it's a lot for us. Yes, it is. Yes, a whole lot. You know, shout out to y'all because woo, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, all we got to worry about maybe some chapstick on our ashy lips. That's it. We good.
I know. We know.
Hey, I know you're doing makeup, and I know you've been doing it, you know, for a while. You've done certain celebrities. Well, I ain't gonna say. How can I say this? You've done. I just spit it out. There you go. You've done some great celebrities. Who did you like working with? You know, as far as the celebrities were concerned.
You're trying to get me fired.
Okay, that's why I said I want to be careful about what I said.
Okay, so I'll say this. There are some celebrities that I have on my resume that I've worked with, but as an artist that works in the industry, you know, we can't tell you who we've worked with. We can't always be like, oh, we went to this person's house and child, they had, because that's like, oh, you talk
professional.
Okay. Yeah, unprofessional. Unprofessional. I will say,
well, you had the most fun with, I guess. I don't know, however you want to put it.
Let me think. I gotta be careful with you because you know you tricky.
He's messy. He's messy. He's trying to get you fired. He's trying to get you fired.
Can I just say this though?
Yes.
I know, you know, we talk about women, right? And we're talking. We talk about women, right, with makeup. Now the men. Let's talk about the men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know, like, if you're on camera, you know, men have to wear makeup.
For sure.
And you know, and I know they go through transitions as far as you know, different makeup artists or whatever. So the men, what goes on with the men? I'm just curious.
Okay, so I can give you that. I can give you a better answer for that. So I was with not with Under Armour, but I worked for Under Armour when we would do shoots. I didn't. Let me backtrack that. I didn't work for Under Armour. I was basically like a contractor with them. So when they would do media days for their athletes, when they would do interviews, press junkets, whatever the case was, we would come in. I would come in and sometimes do hair and makeup or just grooming, and they may have like a barber on site. So the funny thing for me when I would work with the athletes is it was always like, "Why you coming? I don't wear that. Why I gotta wear that? I don't wear that when I play. I don't need that." And I'm like, but this is different because these are photos, these are interviews that you don't know they're going to end up being all over the sports arena. They can be on ESPN or
but that high definition TV, that'll kill you. You can see every pore.
High def. God, no.
you need a little something.
High def shows 6 times clearer or more crisp than the natural eye. So if you have, especially for athletes, because a lot of these men, particularly the male athletes, they sweat, they may have breakouts just from the oils that come from your scalp, all of that sweating. And so, you know, you're just washing your face with soap. So they may have breakouts or whatever. And if we're not there and they just go on camera, no, God, I'm like, please, this is not an interview after the game. This is your, you know, photograph for whatever, or your interview for whatever. So for the guys, we might do some skincare a little bit, maybe just kind of clean them up, maybe a little bit of concealer and powder, chapstick. It's not much because I don't want to feminize them. I'm not trying to give them blush, and we're not doing any of that. They're still athletes, and that's, you know, that's their thing, but we just want to make them look clean. And so when the barbers are there, the barbers sometimes, will just give them like a shape up, an edge up. Because I've locks. So sometimes if I'm working with an athlete that's got locks, I may end up just retwisting or just kind of grooming his edges, because nobody got to know what's going on in the middle. Okay. I'm concerned about this, so I may do some, things like that. But their stuff is pretty easy. It's just knowing when to stop.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I figured that because like you don't want too, like you said, you don't want to feminize them as well.
Yeah.
You don't want too much, because then they could look at a man and be like, wow, look at all that makeup he got. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I was just
expected. Yeah, it's expected on a woman. It's expected to have, blush and lashes and whatever. But for a guy, it's not expected. And so we have to, as an artist, as a person that really, I take this very seriously. I have to think about their image across the board. It's not just about what I want to do for them that day and how I think you should wear this. If that's not their collective look, my job is not to create a new look. I'm not their brand manager. I'm not their image consultant. I'm the person that's hired to do a job, so that no matter if I do the makeup here and then they go to France and they have some interviews over there, the makeup artist over there can do what I did here, and it's not complicated.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. That was
a good question.
Yeah,
that was a good question, because I have a friend that he has he needs some pictures, and I said, well, his skin is not
even
clear. It's different shades.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different shades. So I said, you need a makeup artist, just come to the photo shoot and just a little, I guess, foundation, and maybe, like you said, powder, just to make his skin even.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm doing no makeup. But it's important, especially if it's your image, and like you said, you have a book and you want to look your best.
For sure.
And it's better than a whole bunch of photoshopping.
Right.
Because I tried to, Photoshop his pictures to make his skin even. I couldn't do it.
It doesn't look natural. And any photographer that's worth their weight in salt will tell you would rather have a good makeup artist than have to do Photoshop later.
Yeah.
Because Photoshop, it takes away from the natural look.
It does, yeah.
Pores, because our skin is a moving organism. So you're going to see pores. So when I see photos sometimes, and it's so smooth, I'm like, you look like a cartoon.
Too perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't look right.
Show imperfection.
Yeah. And we got a couple questions here too. We got a few of them actually.
Okay.
Sky Dog, she has two kind of similar, so I'm gonna read the first one. She says, she's talking about her I think her niece, or what was her? Yeah, I guess her niece.
Ladybug.
Yes.
But Miss Ladybug.
Yeah, Ladybug. She loves YouTube in terms of learning how to do makeup in business. Thank you for your advice, Monica Cook Johnson. What recommendations would you give Ladybug in terms of looking for a real internship and connecting to a mentor in the business?
So if she's 14, see, that's kind of a loaded question. She's 14 now, so she's still in high school. Maybe she could reach out to, if you have like family friends, or maybe somebody in the family that owns a salon, or because we all know somebody that owns a salon. So maybe like some family friends or somebody that's already doing it, and she can just kind of shadow them. Because as an intern, it depends on how open they will be to bring her on board. We get messages all the time from people that say, oh, I want to assist you. Can I shadow you? Can I be your intern? But our lives are so up and down, and some of the projects that we're on, sometimes I have, like if I'm doing anything political, I have to have a clearance to do it. I can't bring somebody with me to do it. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm too good to do it. Sometimes we're just not allowed to. So that's why I'm saying reach out to somebody that's already doing it. Maybe if there's like a girl in the area that does makeup for ladies, or does makeup for proms, or whatever that might be, special events, maybe she can reach out to them and just say, can I shadow you? Can I clean your brushes?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
There as an intern, because there's rules to being a good assistant and an intern. If the person that's working is telling you, I need these brushes cleaned after every person, or I need this section cleaned after each time, you know, do what they're asking. Because I have had assistants. I'll give you an example. I was doing an opera, and on this one, I was the wig and makeup designer, so I was the head. Sometimes I'm there as a part of the team, but this one was mine. And so I had brought this girl on, and we had, I don't know how many wigs we had to pin on, probably, I'm gonna say 50 at least. So it was myself, her as my assistant, and then they gave me like another person. The show gave me another person. And so when the night was over, we were doing hairpins. We had all these hairpins on the table, and they have to be separated. And I'm gonna tell you, it was about 1,000 hairpins, but they've got to be separated: bobby pin, hairpin, black ones, silver ones, whatever. And I'm like, okay, listen, we got to separate these. Can we do that tomorrow? No, because when we come in tomorrow, we've got to get it started all over again. So we need to get this done now. I need you to put your phone down. This is part of the job. And I didn't want to get with her, but I'm like, listen, sis, everybody is tired, but if you need this, and I'm sitting here arguing and going back and forth with you because you don't feel like you want to do it, then guess what? The next time I have an opportunity, I'm not going to call you.
Right.
Now we wasted 10 minutes with me trying to explain to you why this is important. And sometimes people don't know. Sometimes when they're really new, they don't know, so you do have to explain that. But she was someone that had assisted before. So she wasn't like a new one. So sometimes, even in that learning process, if we say, put this away, carry this bag, don't put this here, don't pack that way, just do as we're asking, because if we get the heat of the moment that we're saying that, and then when things quiet down, then we can explain, okay, listen, the reason I told you to do this way is because if you do such and such, it can break this, it can contaminate that, whatever. So as an intern, I would just say that she would definitely want to reach out to somebody that she already knows, that can love on her and that can teach her, and in return, be on her best behavior, be respectful, and do what is asked of her.
Okay. Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah.
There. And that's good. But at least, you told, you'll tell them to do something that they don't. You'll explain why. Well, we have some people that they don't explain that. So that's, kudos to you for doing that, because that's good to know that. And we have Sky. He also asked, what is a mature skin tone?
Okay, so skin tone is color. Mature skin comes with age. So those are actually two very different things. Mature skin is usually skin that's showing a little bit of aging. So maybe, I don't know, once you get past, as my sister-in-law says, the woman of a certain age, you start having a little something here or there, that may be considered more mature skin. I don't want to give out an age because, black don't crack. So sometimes our mature skin, when you have melanin, is a little different than someone that doesn't have the melanin. So it just kind of depends. But it's usually somebody that's a little bit older.
Okay. And she also says, share to groups the feed and you're on your page. She basically want to share your page. We do have something as far as how you can get in contact with you. So I'm gonna put that up there for right now.
Okay.
And so people can know www.monicacook.net.
Yes.
So, I guess you could talk to them about, if they need whatever questions, I guess or concerns they have, they can get in contact with that.
Yes. And on the website, it links you to my Instagram, my LinkedIn, which, gets updated every few months. Instagram gets updated much more, but yeah, the Facebook, the Instagram, the LinkedIn, and something else. I forget now, but you can go on there and check.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Hey, I learned a lot today. You know what I mean? Like, as far as makeup is concerned, because, I always wondered, what goes on, behind the scenes and stuff like that. It broke it all down to me. And it takes a lot. So kudos to y'all, because I know y'all are tired at the end of the day.
We are.
With all those personalities.
For sure. Oh my God. So like when I did The Lion King, when I was talking to you earlier, I keep cutting myself off. I'm in something called IATSE 798, which is a union that goes from Maine to Florida. Then there's IATSE 706, that's like the whole West Coast, and then there's different ones in the middle. IATSE is the union that allows you to work on television, theater, film, and talk shows, whatever, anything that's on screen. Netflix, Hulu, got any new shows, all of those things, you have to be unionized to do that for the most part. And I think Lion King was my first play that I had worked on. So in the area that I live in, we have a lot of Broadway plays that come through Maryland and DC. So the reason you need union artists in each state is because if a show comes through, a celebrity comes through, you have to have people in each state that can work with that person, that understands the industry, understands the rules, also abide by the same rules. So if a show comes, usually you get 1 day to learn this show and learn where you need to stand, where you need to be. It is like a well-oiled machine, and you have got to be where you are supposed to be, backstage, stage right, stage left, in the dressing room, wherever it is, you have got to be there. Even a 30-second, sometimes all you have is 30 seconds to do the changes that you need to make. And so, long story short, when we did Lion King, I went one day and shadowed the show and learned whatever. And I remember, I think we got to the studio or to the theater maybe like 2.5 hours before the show started. And then The Lion King itself is a 3-hour show. And then we were still there another 1.5 to 2 hours after the show is over.
Yeah.
So when you add that, especially, and then you have some days where it's 2 shows in one day. So we really are working. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna go paint these little zebra stripes. This is cute. It is work.
I believe it.
Love it. I could never see myself doing anything else, but it's work. It's definitely work.
That adrenaline rush must be like out of this world.
Yeah.
Because you're not only, like you said, you got time against you. You got to get the person, got to get there at the right time. You got to put the makeup on. You got to be on point. It's just a lot. So
yes, it's a lot.
Man, that's crazy. But we got another comment out there. We got Sky Dawn. She says Ladybug wants to say thank you for your advice.
You're welcome.
Instagram, Grace does eye makeup. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Tell her I'm following her right now. Wait a minute.
She's following you. She's following you right now, Ladybug.
What is it? I just saw. Okay, Grace does eye
I'm sorry. Let me put that back up. Grace does eye makeup.
Let me see. Okay, I think I spelled it the wrong way. Don't judge me. Hold on. I'm trying to look for her. Grace does eye
makeup.
Huh. I'll find it when the show is over. Tell her, don't worry. I'm gonna find it.
She got you, Sky. Tell Ladybug she'll be right on there. And we got I love that name, Ladybug. I'm thinking Little Planet. You got Ladybug, do the bug, and never mind. Anyway, Karen says, do you plan to stay working with unions, or will you eventually build clientele and go solo to start your own business with more artists?
That's a good question. So the union is actually a career accomplishment, because that's not something that you just join. You have to have so much experience.
Wow.
There's so many different areas. You have to apply. You have to be accepted. It's a lot that goes into that. So it took me about 6 years to get into the union, because there's no other way you're walking on to a blockbuster film and just saying, oh, I'm going to do makeup. So this is a way to vet you and make sure you got all of the experience, whatever, if it's special effects, if it's bald caps, if it's adding ears, if it's making prosthetics, I'm able now. I can do all of those things. So if I get for something, they already know she's got these skills. Let's put her on this job. Let's put her on that job. So oddly enough, as a freelance makeup artist, I'm union. So if the show comes, I can work on that show. And then when that show is over, I can go on and do my own private clients. So I've been doing makeup for 25 years. So I already have a client base and all of that stuff. I probably will never do agency work as far as me having an agency and sending out other artists. What I normally will do, if I'm not available for something, I will just refer it out. I don't want to be the one that's responsible if someone does not show up properly, someone does not represent me or any brand that I'm doing. My brand, I can't risk it. So a lot of times you will see the artist community is very small and we will refer each other, but I'm not going to be like, oh, this is an artist that works for me, I'm going to send her. because if I'm not thinking, and maybe I'm sending an artist that is not the perfect match for this particular client, it comes back to me. It doesn't go back. You know, so our business is a little bit different. And our reputation is everything. You know, our relationships are everything. It's very tight knit. It's very hard to like get in, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
You really have to work.
It's like being a SAG actor. You have to go through a lot of, you have to have a lot of experience. You have to have so many hours.
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am. Uh-oh.
How did you get to the level of being a celebrity makeup artist? That's what I want to know.
That's actually a great question. So a celebrity makeup artist is somebody that may be assigned to celebrities. So when I work Kennedy Center Honors in particular, we are assigned certain people. If I'm working any award shows, we are assigned certain people. So I work with celebrities. I work with a lot of very high level politicians. Y'all have seen them everywhere, at the White House, at the Capitol. So that's sort of something that we just kind of put out there. Like, I've worked with celebrities. And for me, when I say that, it's to let clients know and to let potential, relationships know that I have the professionalism to be able to work with this level of a client. And it does, just because somebody's a celebrity or a politician or royalty, whatever it might be, because I've got friends that have worked with like the royal families. What they require is different. They are accustomed to privacy. They're accustomed to loyalty. They're accustomed to certain products. They're accustomed to having a certain type of energy around them, a certain type of work environment that's very different from working at a makeup counter. It's different from working at, a fashion show. Is different from working in like a beauty supply, but not beauty supply. I'm sorry, I'm going to say that in a beauty salon. So there's different requirements as a professional that I have, and that other artists at the level that I'm at now have, that we can bring to an actor or a performer, and they're comfortable with us. Because at the end of the day, they got to be comfortable in knowing that we know what we're doing, and we're just going to keep our mouths shut no matter what we say.
But my question was, how did you go from, the military, working at Sephora, to, building your career, to that level? I understand the process of being a union member,
right?
But how did you, what was your first celebrity gig, and how did you get it?
Oh God,
that's a better question.
You're gonna have me thinking back.
Okay.
I wanted to say
that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe it might have been something for Broadway. It might have been like a Broadway, something that toured, and I don't remember. It could have been it might have been when I was working with Under Armour, when I was doing athletes. So when I say celebrity, I'm not thinking just entertainment. Yeah. So I would say my first celebrity would have been Michael Phelps. And that was after he had won, I think that was after he had won his first 8 gold medals.
Wow.
Okay. So he would have been like the first like big, like, oh my gosh. And the way that I was able to work with him was I was working with a photographer here that was working with Under Armour. And so when we were at Under Armour to do various shoots, you're talking on set and, oh, this is the producer. Oh, here's my card. If you need something, whatever. And so it's really just very
networking,
but it's like authentic conversations. Like, I didn't just walk up to somebody and say, here's my card, take it. It really is just connecting with people that you like, you're laughing with, you're talking with. And so then they say, oh, well, we got a shoot coming up next week. I think you'd be great. Come back. So that's kind of how that worked. But it's definitely just meeting people and being yourself. Like, not being mean, not being snarky, just being yourself. So I think he was probably like the first big name.
Oh, yeah.
Right place at the right time.
Right.
Yeah, it's all about building relationships. A lot of times you build those relationships, you can get far, definitely. And we got Sky Dawn. She's correcting what she said.
Oh, that's why.
Instagram is Grace_does.makeup.
Got it.
Yeah, Grace_does _makeup. So that's
'Cause I
what it
want
was.
to make sure I follow that young lady underscore.
She said my bag. So there you go. We got a question from Karen. Well, not a question. She's Karen says, thanks for explaining. You know, here in Union, we think of laborers who are
Oh
moving
yeah,
like factories.
right.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Well, it depends on what union you're talking about, but yeah.
Well, let me tell you the reason we needed a union, and the union started in, I want to say, the 1940s.
Mhm.
It was because as many people that need a union, you're being abused for your time and your talent.
That's right.
And
Exactly.
so makeup artists, hairstylists, wardrobe stylists, we already have to prove,
Hmm.
why we're essential. I gotta pay you for that. And I don't know, this so-and-so does it cheap or whatever. So the same thing was happening with productions
Hmm.
where they would hire, staff people and tell you in your deal memo that, oh, you're going to be working for this amount of hours on this many talent, and then that's it. And then you get to the job and they throw double the amount of people on you. It's double the amount of time. And when you get there, what do you do? Like if you leave and say, well, that's not what we agreed to, then
You're blackballed.
you get
Yeah,
blackballed.
Right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what the union does for us is to ensure that we get paid a particular amount. If we go over your first 8 hours or 10 hours or whatever it is, you have to pay us time and a half. If you go over that after a certain number of hours, you got to pay us double time. You got to give us a certain number of breaks. These are the conditions that we can work in. These are the conditions we are not going to work in. That's why so many artists strive to be in the union, because we already know when you get on the set, I know what my contracts are. I know what my obligations are. And it's no going back and forth and people trying to wiggle and get more out of you than they told you in the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They'll take advantage of non-union,
for sure.
just like talent. They'll take advantage of you.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely union is the way to go. I'm gonna tell anybody that.
Yes.
Union is
For sure.
definitely the way to go. You're protected. You have a certain contract that you have to follow, and they have strict rules and regulations. Unfortunately, you have people that try to take advantage of the situation if you don't have a union, and try, like she said, pile on more work than what is necessary. Tell you to do this when it's their work, all kinds of stuff.
All
So
kinds
again,
of stuff.
you got to
Yeah,
be real careful. And honestly, union's the best way to go. I tell anybody,
for sure.
'cause you always have somebody to represent you
For
in
sure.
the union, especially for unfair practice. And the company walks a fine thin line when it comes to
Yes,
certain
they
things
do.
with the union. So union is the best way to go. I would never, like I tell everybody that, I understand, you see the stories about factories, them striking, you hear
For
those
sure.
bad stories, but at the end of the day,
Hmm.
they're worth the striking for in your contract negotiations and stuff like that. So
For sure.
again, what else we got here? She says, Izzy says she thought the same thing as far as Karen was thinking. And Sky says, when will you be on Choice TV? Go ahead now.
What Choice TV? Am I missing something?
Yeah, nah, that's Jamila. That's Jamila's TV, right? TV network, Choice TV.
Hey,
So
Jamila, we need to talk, girl.
Oh, you gonna be on there as soon as Chuck download this to
yeah,
Choice TV. You gonna be in there in a couple
yeah,
hours.
in a
If,
couple hours.
Chuck, do what he's supposed to do. So that's no big deal. And you're gonna be on Feel Good TV also.
Yeah,
So.
Feel Good
Love
TV.
it.
Yeah.
I
So
love it.
we rolling. We're doing some things over here.
Yes.
She says, Karen comes back again and says, what have you been doing lately with COVID happening? She says
Now,
this.
listen here, COVID, that doggone COVID winch need to go somewhere now.
Yes.
For
Are you
us,
tired of pivoting?
yes,
You gotta pivot.
a lot of pivoting. So,
Yeah.
like I was saying initially, with COVID, it's so much. So when the world opens back up, we have to be COVID ready now. So what I'm doing with the time now with COVID is really learning government regulations, health regulations, regulations that the union is providing for us, knowing what I need to have when I'm on set, how I need to separate my kit, how I need to set up my station. Some people are wearing full hazmat gear. Some people have in their studios, like air purifiers in the rooms. It's so many different options that we have to learn. And then knowing the difference between if we get on set and those protocols are not in place, how do I set up my space to be COVID ready? And I don't want the talent comes to come back to me and say, oh, well, when I was in your chair, blah, blah, blah happened. So I'm not working. The entire industry is shut down. I may have like a client or two that might, come to get something, quick, I'm taking pictures or something like that. But as far as the industry is concerned, our entire industry is shut down.
Yeah.
I do know of a production that is going on right now in Canada, and they're making people quarantine for 14 days before you even come on set. And if you break quarantine, you are punishable by law. Like you can go to jail for up to 3 years, because it's not a joke. They're not playing. Even in states that are what we call right to work states. I know like Georgia's a right to work state. North Carolina, Louisiana is one too. They still have to be COVID ready as far as being on set. So some of those states are still working. It is very limited until they figure out how we're going to battle it and combat it. Everything is just shut down.
Wow.
Tyler Perry, he had his crew. First, you have to get, they stay.
They're
They
staying.
stay
I
through
know
the
a girl
whole
right now that's doing
production.
it. Yep.
Yeah. So the world has changed. It's kind of like 9/11. It'll never be the same. It has changed. But, it seems like, being a celebrity makeup artist is a lot of fun and glamorous. What has been some of the challenges for you?
Time. Because I'm a wife and a mom too.
Oh, yeah.
So, depending on what's happening, we can get calls at 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Oh, I need you. Can you get down here in an hour? And I'm like, oh, well, at 7, I'm supposed to take my daughter to school, or at this time, So sometimes those things can be challenging, and learning when to put myself and my family first. Because the client, listen, people are people. They're going to take from you as much as you give them.
Yeah.
And when I first started, I would be so concerned about, oh, if I say no, I'll never get another job and whatever. I've been in it too long now, and if I say no now, I'm like, no, something else is going to come. Let somebody else that has the availability, let them do it and give them their shot to shine. Because if this is going to impede on my family and what my husband needs, what my kids need, whatever, I can't do it.
Right.
And you're on set all day. Sometimes you're on set all day, and you can't leave.
You can't be on your phone. You can't have mommy, the bus can come, like none of that. So if it's something that's going to cause me not to be able to be a mom, because I'm a mom first. My family is going to always be first.
Exactly.
If it's something that's going to cause me not to be able to do that, then I'm not going to do the job. So that's hard, is making that decision, like of when I'm going to take a job and when I'm not.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Do you travel a lot?
I was traveling, since I'm in Baltimore, I was traveling mostly to DC, which of course it's like, I don't know, 35-mile difference, 40-mile difference. It can take you 2 hours.
Oh, traffic.
Traffic is from the devil.
DC crash. Yeah, it is crazy.
Horrible. So between DC and then doing like trainings and stuff in New York, depending on what's going on up there, it's usually like DC, Maryland, New York.
Okay, cool.
Unless it's
you ever come to California?
Yeah, I've done, when I did the BET Awards a few years, and that's always at the Staples Center, so I'll go out there for that. But other than that, it's enough artists over there. I just let them, do their thing over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, we got another comment. Karen says, "Nice. I love to see people planning smart while so-called stuck during this. You seem so cool to work with." She actually say, "Nice," laugh out loud, and I think Sky has a question. She says, How would you pitch for an internship in this industry?
So I always say go with people that you know. Because everybody knows somebody that's doing the thing that they want. I wouldn't tell you. I mean, look, if you want to pitch for somebody in New York, you can do that, but you have to look at it logistically, or somebody in LA or whatever. Look at it logistically. Can you accommodate them? Can you be on location with them? If they get a call and they need to be somewhere in an hour, can you be there in an hour too? So you have to look at where you are and kind of corner yourself in the market that you're in. That's why I say work with people that you already know. And if you do, just tell them, listen, this is something that I'm interested in doing. Do you have any opportunities where you would need me to help you? I can carry your bag. I can clean your brush. I can, clean your station. I can clean up in between clients. I just want to watch and see how you interact with people and see what you do. And then when you're working with them, you just kind of stand back and watch. But you also want to, as you intern a little bit longer, you almost want to do things for the artist without them asking.
Right.
So if somebody knows, for instance, that I am finishing with a client, they already know this whole area is now going to have to be cleaned up. So my intern would then, without me asking, would come and just start putting things away and putting things back. So while I'm interacting with the client and finishing last looks and all of that stuff, when I turn around, they should be working already.
Yeah,
When
proactive.
you don't know that, but if you do it long enough, and you figure that out. But just be authentic and say, I want to help. What can I do? And I've had a couple of people that I brought on with me that were, referrals from like family, friends, or people at my church or whatever. And they're like, oh, my niece wants to do it. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to do a wedding this weekend. Just tell her to come with me and she'll be part of the team. And they'll just sit and help and clean. And, oh, can you go get me some coffee? Can you go get me a banana? Just stuff like that. So just tell them what you want to do. And they might say no and they might say yes.
I have a comment about that. I think I don't know, when I was in school, when I was in fashion school, even if you're like 16, you can go to cosmetology school and get your foot in the door, and that's where people will call. Like for me, if I'm doing the show, I'll go to the nearest cosmetology school and say, well, I need a makeup artist. Do you have any girls that can come, do hair and makeup?
Yep.
And that's kind of how you meet people and you network and you kind of get your foot in the door through school. And I know, I remember like kids 15 and 16, they're getting their high school diploma and going to cosmetology school.
Yeah, some of the
So by the time they graduate, they have their credits and they have their high school diploma and their license to do cosmetology.
Right.
And that way, you always have people. It's like, oh, I need a makeup artist here, and through the school.
Yes. Yeah. And actually, the cosmetology school that I went to in Maryland, it was funny because I had already been doing makeup 10 years. I had worked at MAC. I had managed at MAC. And so when I left MAC, I was like, okay, well, now I want to have like my official credentials because MAC doesn't license you or anything like that. They teach you a lot, but you don't get a state license. And I do remember there was a board. So all types of people would call the school and they always would tell us, check the board and make me some jobs on the board, check the board. Yeah. So yeah, I got a few jobs that way.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, I do want to we had a contest last week and I do want to mention the contest winners. We had a lot of participants, but we had two in particular that did everything they were supposed to do. I know they were supposed to like Feel Good Talk page. They hadn't did it already. They were also supposed to go share the live that we had going on. Also, Jamila, what was else? Because you got all of the did she freeze on us? Okay, she froze on us. But she but anyway. Can you hear me, Jamila? Can you hear us? Okay. You good to go?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
She was like saying, go ahead.
What was going on? You was going like this, so you were confused.
Yeah, I can hear you.
But I
was just letting you know I wasn't froze.
Okay. Yeah, so I know they had to share the page. They had to like Feel Good Talk. They had to share the page. They also had to go to YouTube, like YouTube. They also had to hit us up on the inbox or on our emails and let us know that they did it as well. And they had to be present in order to win today. So we had two that did everything that they were supposed to do. And I have the individuals were Brandon Sedgwick, and also we know him as Prince True. And we also
you're grabbing that cash.
Yeah, grabbing that cash. So we can grab that cash now. We also have Karen Dixon Brown. I got it right, Karen. Don't beat me up. So I got their names in the hat right here, and we're going to pull out the names. I'm going to shake them up, and we'll pull them out, and we'll go from there. All right, and I pulled the first one out. Wow. And we got Karen Dixon.
Yay!
Hey, so he's the winner of the $50. We Cedric, well, Brandon, he will get the runner-up prize. So we have a shirt, a hat, and some stuff for him. So I'll be sending that.
Yay.
But the cash winner is Karen, and she's on here. Hopefully she can raise her hand and let us know she's here, because if she's not here, then we have to go to, it has to go to next week. So that, okay, there she is. Okay, yay.
Yay, congratulations. Wow.
Yeah,
So what are we going to do next week, Chuck, so they can grab the cash?
Tell you what, we're going to go to commercial break real quick, and we can think about that, and we'll be right back. Again, this is the A Game. Here it is.
This is A Game, an all-natural herbal dietary supplement formulated exclusively for men. Our proprietary blend was designed with one goal in mind: to improve your overall health, rejuvenating your vitality, energy, strength, and libido. Want to be at your peak performance in everything you do? Then bring your A Game. Fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Oh my God.
All right, again, that is the A Game. This is for men only, women, men only. And again, like I said, it's good for libido, strength, energy. And again, it's good for your internals as far as, oh my God, I'm so tired.
Get your life together.
Yeah, I know. You told me that early. Get your life together, Chuck. As far as your immune system, 19 natural herbs. So definitely check out the A Game. It's definitely worth it. And I am giving out some free samples. So give me a call at 302-723-2836. 302-723-2836 to get your free sample of the A Game. Also, we got Star Darling. She says, congrats, Karen Dixon Brown. And then Karen says, thank you guys. No, thank you, Karen, for participating and always, supporting Feel Good Talk. We definitely appreciate it. So if anybody deserve to get the money, it is definitely you. So again, thank you.
And we'll be interviewing Karen next month. So I look forward to that.
Mm-hmm. And what I need from you, Karen, is a photo and we'll talk about it behind the scenes. I'll hit you up behind the scenes and we'll go from there.
You're welcome.
All right. And that is it as far as the feedback. But again, next week, what you have to do, this week coming into next week, again, you have to like Feel Good Talk on Instagram, Facebook, all of our outlets, like every page that we have, LinkedIn. We have it on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and also Instagram, like all those. And then hit us in the comments. I did it, Chuck. And that could be, and also don't forget to like Choice TV as well, because they liked it last week. We want to do it again this week. We're going to like Choice TV as well. I can't forget about Choice TV. So we'll say it all again. Hit us on all of our social media, which is LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and also, what else? YouTube. Okay. Like us on all four of those. And then hit us up and say, Chuck, I did it on. You can do it on either one. It doesn't matter. It can be on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I'll find it. It'll pop up. And then you have to also like Choice TV. You do all that and then hit us up, and then we'll put your name in the hat and we'll draw the $50. All right.
And can they share this show?
Yep. And you have to share this show as well. On top of that, you have to be here next week to collect the money. So if you're not here, then you never know when we're going to announce it. It's probably be at the end of the show. So what'll happen is if you're not here, then we'll put it to next week. We'll multiply. So it'll be $100 the following week and so on and so forth. So we'll build the prize up. So this week is $50. Again, thanks, Karen, for participating, and we definitely appreciate you. So
yeah,
that's it for me.
Okay.
I said a mouthful and then some.
So Monica, we had a great conversation about makeup. Let's talk a little bit about hair before we close. You said something about you make wigs. So
I actually style wigs for theater. It's very different than street wigs. Because I do so much theater work, it's a lot of period hair. So it's like, the Marie Antoinette wigs. It might be wigs from Motown. I'm trying to think what else. Sometimes it's just something really simple, like two cornrows, that we might style with a wig. So most of my wig experience has been through stage. Although I feel like stage and fashion are really like brother and sister, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're the same. But I don't do the street wigs. Like I don't do the oh, come here, I'm gonna do your lace front and I'm gonna curl it and stuff. That's not really what my specialty is in. It's more so for the stage and for theater.
Oh, cool, cool. We had a lot of questions from the audience, but I just wanted to ask, is there anything that you want to share with us? Maybe what's up next or anything you want to share with us?
So, I guess what's up next for me would be to start working more in film. That's really where I want to be. I like the experience. I already work for a national news station, so that I love doing that. I love being behind the scenes. But up next for me would be working in film. Eventually, maybe a product line of some sort. I am not sure what that would be yet. There's already so many people that sell certain things, so I don't necessarily want to jump into a pool that's already crowded.
Yeah.
I would probably want to do something that would be artist driven. So, for instance, when the beauty blender came out, it was a makeup artist that was already working in television and film that saw this particular shape of a sponge is going to make a huge difference in how we apply things. And she did the prototypes, and it took several years. And now beauty blenders all over the world. But it was an artist that saw a need. And so that's kind of where I would want to go with if I did product development. It would have to be something that is not already in existence that we would use to make our jobs easier, that the public would be able to use very easily too. So that's in the future. We'll see how that goes.
Cool, cool. Is there anything you want to add before we close in terms of, whatever you want to, give a shout out? Of course, give
Sure.
your contact information again, but
For sure. I would say anybody that wants to be in this field, pursue it. It's room for everybody. There's going to always be, a category that you can work in, whether it is, what I'm doing. You might be someone that works with cancer survivors. You might be somebody that works with burn victims. Honestly, you might be somebody that works in a funeral home. There's
yeah, I
really
had a friend do that. Yeah.
yes, there's work everywhere. So don't look at the arts and think, oh, I could never be successful. You're going to have stumbling blocks. There's going to be times when you feel rejected. There's going to be times when you know you're better than the person that's doing the job. Just take it in stride, keep going. I was grateful to my parents because they were like, you got to be educated, educate. So I went to college. I did that. I went to the military. I'm a veteran. So like I kind of based my career on some really solid foundation first. And I would say too, some people have to do it as a side before it becomes their career. So I don't know if I would tell people to jump in feet first and not have an additional plan, because as we see now with COVID, the world has changed.
Yeah.
It's completely changed. So you have to be able to be ready for those changes. And sometimes you don't see them coming, but you still have to survive. You still got to eat. You still got to pay your bills. So just be smart about the industry, because it is the arts, it is the industry, and you can get cut off from something and don't know why and whatever. So pursue it, but be smart. That would be what I would say. And make sure to follow me on Instagram. It's Moco Makeup, MOCO. MAKEUP on Instagram. You can you can, all that stuff. And then you can also visit my website. My website, monicacook.net, has a resume and has photos and all types of things. So if you want to contact me, you can contact me directly on Instagram or directly on my site.
Awesome.
Can I ask one final question? We talked about it, but I just want to get your feedback on the YouTube makeup artist.
Yes. So there's room for that because they are what we consider their influencers. They have actually helped our industry in a way that made people more interested in makeup and more interested in sort of self-care. So I kind of say that is a category that you really can learn from. A lot of times they show you techniques and you can have a lot of fun with it. So that's great. However, like I could not do Instagram makeup on television or YouTube makeup on television, if it's like if like you're talking about layering products and things like that, only because the camera is right here. You know what I mean? It's not a photograph that we can touch up later. It's live and it's moving. And the HD and 4K that they are recording with now sees everything. So if the makeup is piled on or not blended properly, you really do see that. So there's definitely some variances with that. But I do say take what you can get from it, whatever you can glean and use it for yourself. If it's a contour method that you like, maybe take that and sort of water it down. Maybe not do 5 levels of makeup, maybe just do 2 levels. You know, so there's ways that you can adjust that for that to work for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we need to have you back because this has been a fascinating conversation.
Thank you.
We always like to entertain, enlighten, and educate. And I feel like, you know, you did all 3. And there was such a great feedback from the ladies and so many great questions. So, you know, whenever you have time, I would love for you to come back. And I have a whole bunch more questions I didn't get to ask. So,
No problem.
you know, we're, you know, over 20 minutes, but I just, you know, thank you for your time and your, you know, your honesty and your transparency and just, you know, answering the questions. And you can tell you're good people. You know, yeah, you can tell that. And you have a great spirit, and you love people, and you want you want to help people and make us look beautiful. And I appreciate that. So I would love for you to come back when time allows, so I can ask more questions, and you know our audience can ask more questions.
For sure. I think somebody in the comments said hashtag Monica Cook Makeup. No, it's MOCO Makeup.
Okay.
Yeah, someone put it on there, and I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, yeah, we'll get that out. Okay,
MOCO Makeup.
MOCO Makeup. Okay.
Yeah, and if you have any pictures that you can send to Chuck, so we can put it on the Feel Good Talk page, just, you know, a couple of your pictures. I would love to see those too.
Sure. I'm trying to see if I
love
can
that.
get some behind the scenes things that I'm like allowed to share.
Yes.
We can't share anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Sneak in there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say it was an awesome video, awesome interview. I had a great time, and definitely have fun. You know, even though, like I said, I'm not into makeup, but again, I enjoyed it. You know, just to learn about the different ways, and you know, it was fun. I had a great time with it.
Really good.
I appreciate it.
A pleasure to have on. Very, very informative. You had all you're everything. It was awesome. I had a great time.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're the lady. You good.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
So I want everybody know how they can get in contact with us. They can get us on LinkedIn. See, y'all gonna need this information anyway because of the contest. So I'm gonna throw this out there right now. So we're on LinkedIn at Feel Good Talk. We're also on Facebook at Feel Good Talk. We're on YouTube at FGT, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. But all you got to put in is the FGT, and it usually pops up. Also on Instagram at Feel.GoodTalk. So you get on to all 3 of these social medias of ours, and you just hit like if you haven't liked it yet, and then you type in there, you know, Chuck, I shared it, in each one of those. After that, you have to also go like Choice TV. Once you do all that, then you just have to share this video, and then come back next week and watch the next video. That's all you have to do. It's real simple.
And grab that cash.
You give me $50 every week. So again, you know, come grab that cash, and we do have consolation prizes as well. So, you know, again, hey, I had a great time today. I mean, it's not.
Chuck, I want to make an announcement. You know, I'm not sure if everybody know that Feel Good Talk is Feel Good Talk TV is on Roku, and it's on Amazon Prime. No, Amazon Fire TV.
Amazon Fire TV, yes.
And if you go to the App Store look for it, and then you can download the app on your phone.
There you go.
So it should be, it's pending now, but it should be downloaded tomorrow. So congratulations with Feel Good Talk TV.
We appreciate
And so somebody asked you, Monica, will you be on Choice TV? You'll be on Choice TV and Feel Good Talk TV.
Okay, perfect.
it. Exactly.
Thank you.
So the world will be able to see your brilliance and, you know, see what you do.
Awesome.
So,
Thank
We
you.
had a great time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jamila J. It's been a hell of a ride. You know, we
Thank you.
getting there, so definitely appreciate it. Definitely.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And thanks to all the support we get every week. We appreciate that. And we just try to show our appreciation. You know, we grab that cash. And hopefully, if you don't need it, share it with somebody else. You know, if your friend asks you, hey, you got $50, tell them to go grab that cash, you know? So, you know, share the love. Share the love. And we thank everybody. Chuck, thank you. Thank you, Monica. And, you know, Feel Good Talk, mind, body, soul, and business.
Hey, you got it right. You got it right. Shout out to the whole Feel Good Talk team. You know, I mean, without y'all, it would definitely not be possible. So we definitely got to show my love to everybody. So again, this was an awesome show. You want to do the piece, or you want me to do the piece? Peace. See y'all next week, same time, right here at Jamila J's Girl Talk. Every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I got to get it right. She's all the way out in LA. So again, we'll talk later. See you when we see you. Peace.